Michael Irvin was at my wedding because Susie worked with him at Fox Sports for so many years. Ran into him in New York City back in 2003. Asked him if he had an electric blue tuxedo. Well, if he asked him if he had a tuxedo in town, he said yes. Where can I show up? He showed up to the wedding wearing an electric blue tuxedo. And then when my daughter was born, now 6 years ago, and she was born, God bless Susie, we induced to avoid the opening of the NFL season. This is a fact. Back in 2013. So we had a baby naming on a Saturday right before a football Sunday. And the rabbi, she says to us, we have sort of a speaker's role in my service. Anybody could speak to the group. Who do you have? And I said, Michael Irvin. And Susie's just like, 1,000,000%. What a stroke of genius.
Hey, that's a winner.
What a stroke of genius.
Can't go wrong.
So when I say I love this man, it's got more than just to do with the fact that I love working with him on NFL Network and looking at him on NFL Game Day morning across the way and giving him so much grief for his Dallas Cowboys as much as I love to. Michael Irvin, how are you, sir? You there, Irv?
I'm doing well, and I can barely hear you, but I did hear that love that you just tossed
It's a fact.
my way, and I appreciate it. And I want to say hello to your NBC audience.
There you go.
If they've never heard the fine work you do, just stay tuned, and they will be blessed. But, Rich,
Yes, sir.
it was a great moment, Rich, to walk through Central Park.
That's right.
Central Park in an electric blue suit, and that was soon after I retired. So I'm walking through enemy territory after beating up on all Giants fans for all of those years in an electric blue suit. So that was it. It was quite fun.
And it was great. All my friends were like saying to me, so why was Michael Irvin in your wedding? Why was he there? And I'm like, that's my wife. That's part of the reason why I married her. She's just, you never know who Susie knows. So, and you were there for the most important day of my life. So clearly that's amazing. Then you spoke of my baby naming, my daughter's baby naming, about the beauty of family and the importance of family, which it's obviously in a time like now, Irv, is as important as message as ever. You know?
Yeah, it is, Rich. And let me share with people too, because me, being an African American, and being a spiritual man, you're a Jewish guy, and my last name Irvin, and people always called it Irving, so we fit right in. And I joked about that.
Yes, you did.
But what I don't want people to miss is the crux of what I talked about, and I love. I got emotional talking about it because it's true. One of the things that I often talk about, one of my pet peeves are fatherlessness issues that we have in this country. And I tell people all the time, we're 30% Caucasian American, 50% Hispanic Americans, 73% African Americans, women having babies out of wedlock, fathers not being on their post. So to talk about that, at that setting, a baby naming ceremony. Then later on in the Jewish community, you have the bar mitzvahs.
Yep.
These are moments that kids look back on and connect to who they are supposed to be. Baby naming ceremony, everybody's there. They talk about what the name means. They pass the baby around. It's so beautiful. I won't say upset because I don't want my African-American people mad at me, but I just feel that we can be more directed. We spend the same money. We call it a baby shower or a sweet 16, but it doesn't have connectivity to the kid's life. It's just a moment of spending money. What Jewish community do, we need to do in every community. Some things we need to steal from other people, and this is one that I hope African Americans will steal from the Jewish community, and I believe it'll bring that number down from 73 down, which I think will make it all a better world. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go on that rant.
It's all good, Irv. No, Irv, I just love your passion and your dedication, but it's called sampling. Let's not use stealing. It's all good. You just sample from the Jewish faith. That's fine. That's no problem.
Okay, sample it. Hey,
it's portions. It's portions. We always talk about portions.
Let's just make sure we grab it and not leave it.
Michael Irvin here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's get into the Cowboys of it all, Irv. The signing of Andy Dalton means what? What does it mean? What do you think?
I'm sorry, man. It means they got to save good money. I mean, that's what it means. And they got a good backup because they only had Cooper Rush as the backup. And you get a veteran like Andy Dalton. It is a smart decision when you can do it for a guarantee of $3 million. I know the report is up to $7 million, but that's with incentives. You got a guarantee of $3 million. You had so many people to pay. So getting Andy Dalton as an insurance policy at that number is a good price. But it's not anything that I'm going to jump over a moon about. You know what I mean? Jump over the moon and say, oh, my God, we got Andy Dalton. But it is a good it's a good situational price for the Cowboys and a good backup for Dak. But he is a backup. And please, Rich, don't nobody get into this talking about this is to force Dak's hand in any way or this is any kind of reflection on Dak, because it's not that at all. This is Dak Prescott's team, but every team needs a backup just in case.
So, you know, you're already hearing it, and I saw it too, that they're, you know, Dak's not going to Cabo this summer, right? I mean, like we're gonna see him one way or another signing a tender or a long-term deal, right?
I hope so. I think it's 33. You know, it's one thing if you're making $3 million and you say, you know what, I'm going to sit out and wait on the long-term deal. It's another thing when you got $34 million staring at you. You can make up $3 million somewhere. You can't make up 34 nowhere. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I believe that in whatever scenario he has planned out, none will require, and I don't think any will have him leaving 34 million millies on the table. And this is 34 million millies. He was a fourth-round draft pick who made $2 million last year. No, he'll be on that football field. It's just a matter of when they get him on the football field and how long they have him on the football field. But we will get Dak Prescott on the football field. He's a smart man. He's not going to let that get away.
Michael Irvin here on the Rich Eisen Show. Looks like Dak or Dalton, should he get in the game, he's going to have an 88 to throw to Irv. Walk me through CeeDee Lamb getting this number and your thoughts on the subject.
Yeah, and it was so interesting, you know, Rich. As you know, I like to reach out to young guys that are coming in the league, especially my wide receivers. And not to see Lamb has had any issues or Jerry Jeudy's had any issues, but especially if they had an issue. Because, you know, in college or anything, I want to just reach out and let them know, hey, use me as a resource in any way. Certainly my track record hadn't been spotless. So, you know, if you have some setbacks, you want to talk to me about trying to come back from that setback, I'm here. I reached out to guys, reached out to Judy and all those guys. I did not reach out to CeeDee Lamb. I was about to, but he called me. And he called me talking about the 88. You know, he was saying, Michael, you know, everybody's talking about 88. You know, I know I said I want to wear number 10, and he said I want to wear number 10. I'm saying that out of honor for you and respect for all you've done. You made 88. You've earned the right to have that as your number. He says, you know, I want to go and carve out my own. I said, that's great, man. I said, whatever makes you get up in the morning and attack the day to go be a winner, that's what you do. You know, for me, wearing 88, I woke up every morning, I saw Drew Pearson. I told Drew Pearson, he was the first guy to interview me when I got to Dallas. He said, do you know who the all-time leading receiver is? I said, yes. He said, okay. I said, I know who it better be when by the time my career ends.
Nice. Because
that's why they drafted me. So I did that. I made that mark. Every morning I woke up, Rich, I looked at 88 and thought about Drew Pearson. Every time I walked in the stadium, I looked at the guys in the Ring of Honor and said, I will not disrespect you today. You know, so for him, if 88 was to pull something out of him, that's great. He said 10. He wanted to wear the number 10. I said, that's great. If that's what I want to make my own mark, that's great. Whatever pulls your bear out. But I warned him of this before I let him off that phone. I said, get you this. I said, that man you about to talk to about wearing 88 called Jerry Jones is very persuasive. He's very persuasive. I said, no matter what you say, he's going to tell you all kinds of stories, but he's going to try to get you to see it his way. So when I heard he was going to wear 88, I reached back out to him. I said, hey, Did I tell you he was persuasive or what? You know, so we were laughing about that. I'll let him tell everybody whatever his dealings were with Jerry. But I love it. I absolutely love it. And to be to wear 88, you have to be born. That means drafted or signed by the Cowboys, only the Cowboys. Bred as a Cowboy. I born here. I was bred here, and I balled here. And he would meet all of those criteria because I thought that was the best receiver in the draft and the best pickup for Dallas because of what he does in the positions he can play. He can play the slot and outside, and right now Dallas has no production from the slot on the roster right now because that's gone to Houston, Texas, and Randall Cobb.
So, I mean, when it all comes down to it, though, it does appear that 88 is now going to be a number that is given out to somebody that I guess Jerry Jones feels is special. I mean, you know, and you were the one, you know, obviously others did wear it, but from Pearson to you to Dez, you know, Antonio Bryant had it a couple of years, obviously, after you, but, you know, this is what it's turned into, as opposed to just being set aside. You're fine with that, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
Are you joking?
No, I'm just. I know the answer to it. I know the answer to it, but I know others might not, though, when they hear about this.
Okay, let me tell them why. I'm okay with it, Rich. Let me tell them why. And I don't know why I seem to be the only person to see it this way. When they retire your number and they put that number in the rafters, they don't look at, they don't check on, they don't look up, they don't talk about that number until you leave time and go to eternity. And then during the middle of the game, they said, well, we lost Michael Irvin today. And they'll show the number. They'll say, oh, pray for his family. Let's get back to the game. In 3 seconds, they're back to the game. That's all they give you. Your number hanging up there, but that's all they give you. But when they put it on a receiver's back, where every time he makes a play on Sunday, they say, oh, that looked like Michael Irvin. If he drops a pass, they say, oh, Michael Irvin wouldn't have dropped that. You see what I'm saying? This way, I don't wait till I die to get my flowers. I get my flowers every NFL Sunday that you are on the field, and I want my flowers while I'm living.
Michael Irvin, everybody, here on the Rich Eisen Show. I knew that question would elicit an answer that was worth asking the question. So let's talk about Dez. Why is he not playing right now? Can you give me an update on him? I constantly hit him with direct messages saying, come on the show and let's talk. But he's elusive. What's going on with him? Can you give me an update, Irv?
Yeah, and that's a good word to use, elusive, when we talk about Dez. But I know, Rich, that blows my mind. And what I believe happened, and I know some of it, and I'll share a little bit here. When Dez first got released by the Cowboys, it was like the divorce that he really did want, and he just soured in the pain of it. He soured in the pain. I know this because at the time, teams were calling trying to bring Dez in. They had offered Dez $25, $30 million, something like that, for a 3-year deal. Baltimore offered it, and Cleveland was ready to offer. Dez would not even go in and meet with some of the teams. They had to really look for him. They called me looking for him because he really was hoping that the Cowboys would reconsider and bring him back. I think the pain of not being a Cowboy was so great that he never set his mind on playing football again for someone else. And then time went on. Then, he signed with New Orleans and hurt his Achilles. And people just, I guess, just turned away from it. And, he just lost those opportunities. But it blows my mind. With the talent that Dez has, Dez still had an ability to play football that he has not been on a football team since he got released from the Cowboys. And there were talks that he would get back on the Cowboys this year, but maybe drafting CeeDee Lamb and giving him number 88 signaled the end of that. So let's hope and pray that Dez, I hope he gets an opportunity, and I hope he takes that opportunity and make the most of it.
So we don't know for sure if he wants to continue playing football. Like we can't.
I knew for sure he wanted to continue playing with the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
I just don't know if he's ready to go and play with someone else, and that's I don't even know how to say what that is. You know what I mean? You're a young man. You still had opportunity to play football, and you just love the Cowboys so much you didn't want to go play anywhere else, and you left $25 or $30 million on the table. That's pretty amazing.
Is he healthy? Do you know that for sure? Do you know if he's back?
Yeah, he's pretty healthy. He's pretty healthy, and you see him. I see him on doing his workouts and everything on Instagram times. But yeah, so I know he's healthy. He talked about being healthy, and he talked about it on the air around here, but just not. It just blows my mind, just not getting the opportunities. Now, hopefully he will and take those opportunities.
Last one for you, Michael Irvin. We had Brett Favre on this show last week, and he believes that Aaron Rodgers will finish his career elsewhere because the Jordan Love drafting says so much of a writing on the wall. Would you agree with that?
Rich, man, I started to call you last week when I saw you stirring all that up.
Oh, no,
on the Rich Eisen Show. On the Rich Eisen, it was everywhere.
Stirring it up. I ask questions, people answer them, and I elicit answers with the proper questions, Michael. That's the way I would term it instead of stirring it up.
That's what they call stirring it up. You got to. It was a great question, and it was so apropos. You hear people talking about, what is Brett Favre talking about? He's exactly the person to ask.
Right.
He's exactly the perfect person to ask. It was deja vu all over again with that scenario. And absolutely, man, absolutely. I think even more so now that Brett has put it out there, that it's even more apt to happen with Aaron Rodgers finishing his career elsewhere. And honestly, we're getting to the time where that's not a big deal anymore. The days, I think the days of people finishing their career with one team, what I did with John Elway's, guys like those days are going to be limited. Those days you're not going to see more of those days, especially after Tom Brady did it. You got guys like LeBron James who makes bouncing around, plausible. That kind of thing. So if we see someone that start his career with one team and finish his career with one team, that's going to be the anomaly, not the norm. Not finishing with the same team is going to be the norm.
So even if it's the norm or not, do you think this is the case? Obviously.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, absolutely. Because let's break it down, Rick. They're obviously in a fight. You read a report where they say they're kind of tired of Aaron Rodgers stuff and all of that. So obviously they're in a fight. They're going to be in a fight. So even when they tell Aaron Rodgers they think it's time for him to walk away, why do you think he's going to agree with them? He's fighting them. That's the whole idea of the fight. They're obviously in a fight. So no matter how great the work relationship is, we're watching a documentary where it couldn't have been better than what we're watching with the Bulls, and they broke that up because of fighting, in-house fighting. You see what I'm saying? So the one thing, and it's funny because the Bible says that vanity is the greatest sin. And inside of all of this is the root, vanity. Everybody wants the credit for doing what's happening on the field instead of everybody saying, well, we all are doing it. Everybody wants to say, I'm the one that's doing it. Vanity is the greatest sin, and vanity will have them finish elsewhere.
All right, Michael, here's the deal. Let's put a pin in that because when The Last Dance is over in a couple weeks, I'm going to have you back on. I want to get your 2 cents on that because I know you're tight with Mitch Richmond. You must have Jordan stories, and I want to get to that. But
Joy stories, some Dennis Rodman stories, but okay, yeah, we can talk about all of that.
Okay. Take mental notes, and then we're going to have you on in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, I'm having you on. So let's make a note of that. That's now a date, Irv, okay? 2 weeks from today.
Absolutely, buddy.
Love you,
Absolutely.
Irv. We'll chat soon.
Hey, love you too, man. And hello, NBC audience. We appreciate y'all, baby.
Right,
we appreciate you. All right, Rich.
Take care. That's Michael Irvin.
The best.
Irvin and Rodman stories? Very rarely will I tease a show 2 weeks in advance.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.